Hi, it's Kathy Williams, an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up. You can find me at my blog at www.inkingitupwithkathy.blogspot.com or on my website at www.kathywilliams.stampinup.net. Today I wanted to show you this card that I recently made. I'm not really sure the term for this card. I call it a side pull card. But you take the card this way and pull straight out and it opens up like this. So let's get started and I'll show you how to create this card. I recently showed this at a regional event that Rosellen Eastman does, and so I have a board here with everything set up. So you'll need two pieces that are 5.5 by 4 1/4 and scored at 2 1/8. And then next what you'll need is a piece of cherry cobbler at 5 1/4 by 1 7/8 inches, and again you'll need two of those. You'll need two pieces of designer series paper from the This is Christmas designer series paper, which is in the annual catalog. And again, those are 5 by 1 5/8, and you're going to cut two of those. You'll need a cherry cobbler piece cut out with a 1.5 inch scallop circle die, a piece of scrap paper that you can stamp and then punch out with a 1 1/4 circle punch. You'll need a piece of paper that is 5 inches. This is very vanilla. 5 inches by 4 1/8 inch. You'll need some ribbon. This is in the holiday catalog. And this is cherry cobbler, and it's 7.5 inches long, and you'll need two of those, and you'll need two pieces that are 2.5 inches long, a piece of the gold cord from the holiday catalog that measures 4 inches, and then finally you will need the Santa Claus and the bag of goodies from the Father Christmas stamp set. You'll also need it for this image here, and this one. So this holly piece is the only one you won't be using for this this card. And then finally the little Christmas trinket. You'll need the holly one. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, first we'll start with your two pieces of 5.5 by 4 1/4 very vanilla cardstock and your two strips of the ribbon. I've run out of the cherry cobbler for this video, so I'm using the real red striped ribbon instead. And then you'll need some tear-in tape. And you're going to take and you're going to need 4 pieces of that. And these are about 1.5 to 2 and about 1.5 inches. And you're going to put, you can see here, don't know if you can see there is a score line. So if it helps, you can go ahead and do this first. And you'll fold those in half. Okay. So then we'll take the tear-in tape, we'll put one here and one here. Now you want to get these two pretty straight across from each other if you can. So I just place my card this way and put this one down here. And this one down here, just like that. Peel these off and place the ribbon right up against that fold and straight out like that. And Same thing with this one. And you'll come across to this side. And place it across that way. And this one across this way. Okay, so there's your two pieces connected together with the ribbon. Now we're going to take our Tombow multi-liquid glue, and you're going to run a very narrow bead along the top and bottom, and close that up. And then what I do is kind of fold them together and then find something heavy, say like a punch, and you'll want to set that down on top of those ends, allowing it, I'm going to do it off camera, but I'm setting them down on those ends to give some pressure to allow that to dry. So I'm going to set that to the side, and we'll move on to the next pieces and come back. So you're going to get your two little pieces of ribbon, some glue dots, and your cherry cobbler strips, and your pattern paper. So the pattern paper can go directly onto your vanilla pieces. Just like that. And there's that one. Then you're going to take your two little ribbon pieces, go to one end and pick up a glue dot and fold it together just like that. And do it with the other one. I've got one still on the outside here. Just like that. And then I'm going to take a glue dot on one side and put it at about the halfway point on one of the two pieces. Now, to make sure that they don't get out of, you know, kind of not lining up, I just turn this over this way. And take the glue dot and then just lay one right over the top of the other. And that goes right on there. And now they'll be perfectly in line with each other. So now we're going to set those to the side, and let's do some stamping. So we're going to take the garden green ink and the Christmas greetings stamp, ink that up. And this is on that piece that's 5 inches by 4 1/8. So it's just a little bit smaller and then cut shorter. And I'm going to stamp the Christmas greetings at the top. And I'm going to stamp the bottom one. Just like that. Okay. And while we're at it, we'll go ahead and take that little piece of vanilla scrap that I talked about and stamp our Jolly Christmas to All on it. Now our stamping is done. We can take our 1 1/4 inch punch and punch that out. And get our little scallop. And place that on there. Okay, so now here we have all of our pieces that are all ready to go, other than our Santa and the sack of goodies. And then I think we have enough time for our card to dry. Now you want to make sure that your ribbon is in the back. So you can see right now mine's in the front. So I want to flip this over because otherwise your card's not going to work properly. So you want the ribbon to be secured at the back. Now I'm going to take some more tear and tape. And I'm going to put a couple of pieces about 1.5 inches long again. And I'm going to place them in the center of these ribbons. Just like that. And like that. And just make sure these are nice and stretched out as far as they can be. And I'm just going to remove one of the two to start. Just like that. And I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going to hold it above it and try and kind of get this straightened out a little bit so it matches at the bottom and at the top about the same amount to the left and right, and also top and bottom. So about right there. And I'll press down here and that'll adhere that one. And then I'll pull this up and remove this other tape. Tighten that again and let that come on down. Just like that. So now I have my card on the outside. So now I need to get it on the inside. So I kind of gently work it into each side. So that side's in, and then gently into this side, just like that. So now we have our card, and it pulls out just like that. Okay. So the next thing you want to do to make sure that this pulls well and straight is you want to turn it over. And you're going to take your bone folder. Let me get mine out. And you're going to reach in, and let's see if you can see in there. Reach in and push on that ribbon until it's all the way firmly bent in a Z. And you'll do that for both of them. Just like that. Okay. And then you're going to kind of mush and squeeze that right where that ribbon is. And all you're doing is putting a crease inside that, that ribbon. So when I pull it back out, you should be able to see a little line here and a little line there. And what I want to do is take a glue dot. I'm going to pull out, where is my paper piercer? Here it is. So I'm going to pull a glue dot off. And I'm going to make sure that right at that fold, it gets glued down right up to that point. So I kind of squeeze this in up underneath there. There we go. And secure that ribbon down so that now the ribbon is exactly to that fold line. And here's my other fold line. And I want to do that one again. just like that. Okay. So now it's right up to both fold lines. It doesn't matter if they match lengthwise because these pieces back here are what are making it do that. Might be different. Okay, so now we're going to repeat with the other side. I'm going to go down and make sure with my bone folder that that's tucked in there as tight as it can on both sides. And again, I'm going to bring it in and squeeze it to get those lines so that they're noticeable. Pull it back out, and there you can see my line, and there you can see my line. I hope you can see those. Let's see if we can get closer. Can you see that right there, that line? And then with this one, that line right there. And we want the glue dots to get right up against those. So I'll sneak that in there. Hold up against that one and get one more glue dot. Get up right against that one. Okay. So now, as you can see, if I have the outside pieces, it'll open and close, just like that. So now we want to attach these pieces onto the card. So let's glue these pieces down, and I like to use the liquid glue since there is going to be the tension on the ribbon. So this one will go here. Just like that. And this one will go here. Just like that. Okay. And then I'll take the little sentiment and a couple of dimensionals. And put that up on the right side, up here at the top. Okay. Now we'll set that to the side and work on the other pieces, which are the St. Nick and the bag of gifts. And I stamped these with the basic black archival and then had them cut out. And I have a Brother Scan and Cut, which does a wonderful job of cutting these out. As you can see, I'll even bring them in real close. It just does a beautiful job, but you can fussy cut them if you want as well. So then I have some markers here. I have a So Saffron. I have a Blushing Bride, a Real Red, a Pear Pizzazz, a Marina Mist, a Pink Pirouette, a Sahara Sand, and a Smoky Slate. And that's what I'm going to color with. So we'll start with St. Nick, and the tree I'm going to color with the Pear Pizzazz. Good to go. I'm going to take a little wink of Stella and bring it down all of the white parts of his robe. Give it a little shine. Okay. So then for this, I'm going to take that little piece of 4-inch gold cord and one of the little holly embellishments. I thread it on here and tie a knot down at one end. And I want it to be pretty close to the one end of the cording. I want long cord on this end, short cord on this end. Go ahead and get a glue dot to hold this in place. And that's going to sit right up here. And I like to take the tear and tape for the back. But I'm going to take a little bead of the liquid glue and run right along the bottom of that red. Try and get it thinner than that. There we go. And I'm going to place this cording along that line. Just like that, and kind of hold it there for a minute. Catch this side here. Hold that there for a minute. This is the one that really tries to lift up, so you want to hang on to it for a minute. Try not to get yourself stuck to it too much. And then I'll take the little bit of tear and tape. Just get a couple of little pieces, just like that. Turn this over. Bring this one this direction and hold it down. Make sure it's where you want it to be still. And then this one, bring it around and hold it down. And then come in with your scissors and trim off those edges. I'm going to use some other scissors I have, which are my ribbon scissors. That's not working, that's for sure. Okay. And you can see that sliding again, but I'll get it back down on there. Like that. And finally, just putting some dimensionals on the back of these. Do a little overkill on him there. Bring my card over. Place the sack here, just like that. And place St. Nick over here, like that. So there's the card. I hope you enjoyed watching this video of how to assemble this side pull card. Please share with me what you create using this idea. Thanks a lot for spending the time with me.